stand for the prayer and pledge?
Father in heaven, bless us as we gather here today for this meeting. Guide our minds and hearts so that we will work for the good of our community. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. Thy will be done. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I now call you to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Hancock County Commission this May 16, 2013. Citizen presentations. Do we have any citizen presentations? Having none, we'll move on to correspondence. Having none of that, we'll move on to new business. County Commission. Approval of the Abandoned Building Ordinance Committee to advertise for demolition of 400 Grant Street, Newell, map G2R, parcel 130, Hancock County, West Virginia.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval of hiring Peyton Eckleberry as a summer employee.
Move to approve.
What office is that for?
Health Department.
Health Department, okay. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Office of Technology and Communication, requesting approval of LBRA Architecture Firm to prepare a proposal for the design and engineering of a new secured main front entrance to the Hancock County Courthouse. Mr. Zielinski, please.
Yes, sir. We had two requests for qualifications we went and reviewed both of those and selected the Bernardi architectural firm from Weirton to perform the work.
When will they start? As soon as we approve this, or?
Yes, sir. It will be. We'll phone them tomorrow, let them know that they were awarded, and he already has a pretty good general idea of what to do. So I'm guessing that the amount of time necessary to present a proposal back to us will be relatively short.
And Mr. Zielinski, help me if I'm wrong. I have heard that we may take out part of that tax office coming in, or maybe some moving of the building down there somewhat.
One wall will have to be relocated, and a couple of walls, not in the tax office, but in the voter registration area.
Okay.
To the left coming into the building.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will accept a motion on this.
So move.
Any more discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the ayes have it. Requesting approval of a change of the employee policy regarding dispatchers' vacation days carryover. Mr. Zielinski.
Yes, sir. Dispatchers have, for a number of years, been able to carry over vacations, to accumulate vacation days from a year-to-year period. I'm asking to, in keeping with the county's ability to look for reduced ways of both present and future financial liabilities to the county, this would be one way to definitely offset that, is to allow the dispatchers who have accumulated days to be paid for those days, and then to move the policy to where dispatchers will accumulate and use days within their anniversary period.
Move to approve.
Mr. Zielinski, is there a cost associated with that?
Yes, there's total cost is $25,672 for approximately 2, 4, 6, 7 dispatchers.
And then moving on to the future,
There's no liability. Dispatchers will use their vacation or lose them within their anniversary period.
Motion's on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. The Sheriff's Wish List Department, requesting approval to hire Dante Lamont Jeter as a county deputy effective May 30th, 2013.
move to approve.
Mr. Jeter is a Hancock County resident at one time, was he not, Mr. Jeter?
Yes, sir. He graduated from the Hancock County school system, grew up in Hancock County. Presently lives in Charleston, West Virginia, where he works for the Attorney General's office. He has a background in criminal justice for his four-year degree.
We have a motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Requesting approval to apply for matching COPS grant to purchase new bulletproof vests.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Mr. Davis, you did bring up an interesting comment on there. Would you inform about the recent legislation? You talked about that earlier, did you not?
In this current legislative period, I believe the legislation that talked about upgrading our bulletproof vest looked at not only the 50% grant, but possibly being able to fund that out of the concealed weapons funds. And I know that after we apply for this grant, and if we're fortunate enough to get it, then we'll look at using, or possibly using a part of that for the other 50%.
I couldn't tell you right now, Mr. Commissioner, that how much money is in that particular fund, okay? So, but yes, I would not be opposed to using a portion of that to offset your cost.
Thank you for looking into that.
That would be good if you could do that 50% of it. That would be great.
I'm sure it would be for you.
We have a motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Requesting approval to apply for a matching COPS grant for the 3 pro officers in the elementary schools. That would be the new Weirton School
Yes, sir.
and the 2 Chester and New Manchester.
That's correct, sir.
And this is just to apply.
This is just for your approval to make the application, since your names are on the ultimate document. Should we receive this grant? It's a competitive grant. We don't know whether we can get it or not, but prior to moving forward, I wanted to make sure that you're aware, and we can look at it down the road, depending on how close we get.
Move to approve to apply.
Any discussion? All in favor? Oh, go
I
ahead.
have a discussion, because the reason I underline the word apply is we really need the school board's blessing on this. And I know we've had some meetings in the past, not only their blessing, whether it's wanted by them, and also the financial end of it is going to have to be considered.
I have not gone before the board, Mr. Commissioner. I have spoken to the superintendent, who is excited about the opportunity to have an officer placed in the elementary schools. I made her aware that funding could be a problem, and she expressed to me that she was still very interested, but she would research her side of it and see what she could do with her side of the Board of Education, et cetera, as far as any funding may come in the future.
I hope we can work it out. I'll tell you what, the 2 in the 2 high schools and 2 middle schools, I think it works great.
Yeah. Mr. President, if you recall, and I'm sure you do, the very first month that I became into this office, you asked for a meeting between all the agencies, and it was right after a tragedy in our country involving elementary children, and you were extremely concerned as to what we could do for that. And this is just a request from. I'm looking at what you presented us as a request to find a way to
I appreciate
answer this. And this is my first attempt, or early attempt, at trying to come up with a means to help our elementary schools. Again, this was through your initial.
And obviously, we'll have to have
Request to make-
discussions with Weirton, because one of those schools is in Weirton.
Yes,
underneath Weirton.
yes. Everybody needs to be
Right.
on the same page eventually.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Requesting approval to purchase a Dodge Caravan in an amount of $20,595 to be paid for with the remaining Purdue Pharma grant funds of $17,000, and DTF will reimburse, and I'm sure that's the Drug Task Force, will reimburse the difference.
Yes, sir. You want me to comment on that for you before you vote?
He was getting ready to make a motion. You should have.
Well, hell,
Floor is yours.
spend some money. No, it's all going to be reimbursed. It's all, it's not, nothing's coming out of the coffers. They're not asking for any money coming out of the commissioners. The fact that your name is on their
Free.
grant, that you sit at the head of the table.
Okay, just let me write this down.
Free.
Head of the table.
Quote Sheriff Fletcher.
Sure.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Before I go any further on the agenda, we're very blessed. It doesn't happen very often. We have 3 magistrates here today, and I don't know if they're here to make a comment, any public comments, or they're here to talk to us afterwards. Gentlemen, did you have anything? It's, you know, you guys do a great job over there, and we appreciate you. Anything you wanted to bring before the commission
We
today?
appreciate that, Connor. The only thing I think you need to be aware, I have contacted the Supreme Court Administrative Office legal advisor for the magistrates in reference to the new possibility of removing us from this building to the old Dollar General. And she has tried to get a hold of Steve Canterbury, the administrator of the Supreme Court, as well as Fletcher Atkins. As of today, she's unable to get a hold of either one of them and this was just an hour ago maybe. I talked to her. She's unable to give us a yay or nay, one way or the other, in reference to their approval for that particular building. So we are working on getting that approval.
And as you gentlemen know, it's been a couple of months we've been trying to get the state to take a look at this building to see if we could go ahead and revamp that and move the magistrate court in there, which would be a blessing to get you moved. So we're working at it. You know, I mean, that's what we're trying to do.
Gentlemen, you're aware Mr. Zelinski sent a letter last week as well. A week ago Friday, he sent a letter to Justice Davis from the Supreme Court asking her to assist in expediting a walkthrough or visual inspection of the building to see if we can move forward as well.
We copied her on the letter that was prepared from Mr. Canterbury also.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen. All right, here we go. County Clerk. Approval of special project request to purchase new personnel filing jackets in the amount of $900.
We take care of all the records for every employee in the county.
I agree with you, Eleanor. I agree with you.
And they're getting a little batty.
The employees or the files? We know we are.
No comment.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Approval of special projects request to purchase a new fax machine and cabinet in the amount of $2,245. Mr. Zelinski.
Yes, Eleanor's office had 2 proposals for the CAN image runner printer copy machines, and I approved the one that she has selected for the $2,245.
Mr. Sorsmiller, is there anything you want to say?
No, no.
Do you want to make a motion?
Move to approve.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Approval exoneration orders.
Move to approve.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Approval of general county bills.
$11,789.01, and the P-card payments were $32,943.20.
Move to approve.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Approval of Oakland PSD bills.
There are none.
Approval of fire allocation bills and requisitions.
I have none today.
Approval of library levy fund bills and requisitions.
They're okay to pay.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Approval of animal shelter levy fund bills and
There are
requisitions.
none.
Approval of sheltered workshop bills and
There
requisitions.
was one, and it's okay to pay.
Move to approve.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Sheriff, is there anything else you want to say today?
Not at this moment, thank you.
You are tonight.
Oh, tonight, yes, thank you for reminding me. I have a town hall type meeting in Lawrenceville. It's going to be at the Lawrenceville Fire Department. So if you're from the Lawrenceville area, come on up. If you're not, come on up. It's just going to be similar to what we've done in the past. Try to get the community involved in our department, get to meet, greet, see what we can do for them.
Thank you, Sheriff. Mr. Longi. Mr. Vitus.
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Zelinski.
Nothing more.
Miss Eleanor. Anybody back in the audience, anything to bring today? John Paul Jones, Emergency Service Director.
I wanted to just give a brief update on the water situation we had on New Cumberland Heights area. We're working with the Abandoned Mine Lands Division and that's out of the West Virginia DEP office. That's their big umbrella. That's where they work out of. Eric Simpson is our team leader for this project. They have a survey team on the ground now. They're surveying the property, and they're probably going to get ready to drill down to see how deep the water is. In the end of all of this project, they will let the water out of the mine shaft so that another blowout won't occur. So that, and it could take, a week or 10 days. They really don't know how long it takes to do all of that stuff until they get more information. That's currently where we're at. The roads are open, and the water line and all that jazz has kind of been repaired and taken care of. The other part of the project is all of the mud and rocks all had gone down into Hardins Run Creek there at the Stone Bridge by our city county building. And so there's a big debris field there, and so we're waiting for the DEP or DOH maybe to assist us in cleaning the creek out at that point, because that's where all the mud and rocks and brick went to, was right down in there at the bottom of the hill. So those are the two biggest projects that are going on at this point. And like I said, we have a lot of unanswered questions about this particular incident until they get more information. When they drill down through it, then we'll have more information to tell people, or at least let everybody know how long it may take to drain all that water off. The second thing is, in June, our office is going to be participating with a drill down at the Highlands down at Cabela's, and it'll be in association with the public health. Our health departments are all getting together, and EMA managers are all going to be down there doing a 2-day event. So that's an update of what's going on.
Mr. Jones, I got a couple questions.
Sure.
Are there maps in the county of, this was an old mine, or was this a water table problem?
There are old maps that the federal mine law came into effect in 1977. Previous to that, it was the company's responsibility to map out where they were at in the ground and keep those records. A lot of those records were passed to Bureau of Mines so they could keep track of them, only because I think the responsibility of, like an instance like this, where if it was the Mac mine or Acme or whoever this mine belonged to, they're long gone and out of business, is that the federal government has this federal mine act that gives them some money to fix some of these problems. And so a lot of the maps, when these companies turned out the lights and said, we're done, they passed them to them and said, hey, here's our maps, just so you have them. And so there are maps. Now, when I talked to Eric, he wasn't really familiar with that particular one, but they'll go back and find it and see what it is. I mean, it could be an air shaft. It doesn't necessarily have to be a mine where they were mining. It could be an air shaft.
But do landowners know what's under their property? Probably not.
You may not. You may not know whether it had been mined in the 30s or 40s or 50s previous to us being here. You don't know where they mined.
Because I have this little magnet there. It's been on here for probably years. It's called "Call Before You Dig."
Yes.
But in this case, that probably wouldn't have. That's just for
Utilities.
utility lines, water lines,
That
gas
is correct,
lines.
yes.
So this would not have showed up.
Probably not.
So there's no preventative strategies that you could, because I get a lot of calls on this.
Oh, no,
How
yeah.
can you be proactive and this not happening again? Someone who got killed.
Oh, easily.
Most definitely.
There was a lot of water. Yes.
Thank you.
Jonesy, who was our local DOH responsible for fixing the berm of the road going down New Cumberland Heights?
Yes.
They did a great job.
Well,
Looks better now than it did before.
Well, I mean, it exposed the water line from the city that owned. So James White had to come in and fix the water line because it had washed it up and it bowed up in the air some. And then today I see they had a water leak up there in that same general area where it was exposed. It was like over 100 and some feet of it exposed. So with that much pressure on a water line and all of a sudden, all those rocks and stuff off of there. But yeah, no, they did a good job.
Good job.
On both sides of the road, because they had to kind of fix over where the guardrails were too, because the water was kind of going over there. But I can't imagine how fast that water was going down that hill. I suspect it was coming down there pretty quick.
Thank you. Joe, do you have a comment?
Well, the only thing, if you could, Mr. Jones, maybe could make those maps available to us, if the government would, we could look at mapping them in our GIS system. I don't know that we can, we'd have to see them at the top to Vince, but if those maps are available, if they would share them with us, like the Department of Highway shares all their right-of-way maps with us, we could look to map those for Hancock County and Hannibal. If somebody, because the press asked me
Okay.
about this.
No, yeah, I'll ask Eric, because I'm sure they have them electronic.
Yeah, and if they have electronic, it'd be better.
Yeah, they can just ship them.
We'd be more than happy to look at that if you can get us the information.
I will ask, yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner?
Not really. I was going to talk about first-time home buyers. We have just 50, 60,000 in there allotted to Hancock County, but I didn't have time to. I wanted to talk about that today, but I'm not prepared. I have nothing else.
Okay. It took you a while to say that, but you got it. Okay. Commissioner Davis?
I have nothing else.
Two things. We got a request today for $4,800 for Chester City Park to help them with some benches. They want some bleachers up there. Cindy, will you contact them and tell them we made it part of our special projects list?
Okay.
Contact them, let them know. And the other thing was, we still need to have someone represent the county at the parade, the Sesquicentennial Parade in Charleston, June 22nd. So if any organizations out there are thinking about that, please let us know. Anything else to come before the commission? I'll ask for adjournment. We will adjourn until when? June the 6th?
June 6th.
I'll accept that motion.
So move.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.